just making a second cup of tea of the morning for Dan and I. It's about 4 days since we got home from our holiday. Dan went back to work yesterday. He works from home though, so it doesn't feel as dramatic as a return to a commute in the office or anything. But he had a very busy day. And I go back to work tomorrow. So we're very much back into getting back into the routine. Weirdly, I find getting back into the routine after the summer harder and summer being my least favourite season, than I do getting back into the routine after sort of the winter, holiday, Christmas season, even though that's my favourite time. But yeah, I find it harder to sort of settle back down after summer. Milk. Might have a biscuit as well. So I thought I'd just film a little vlog today because I thought I'd just have a little very quick book catch up about stuff I've been reading over the summer. A little chat maybe about looking forward to my autumn plans. We have got some absolutely massive things happening in our family, which I shall fill you in on shortly. Yeah, huge changes happening here in the next few weeks and as we go into autumn. So I thought we'd just have a little chat about that. And I've got a load of work to do on my blanket that I'm making for my eldest daughter Lilia. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I know this isn't my crochet and knitting channel, it's a crochet blanket, but it's kind of relevant to everything that's going on. So I thought we'd just have a little vlog about preparing for autumn, chatting about some books and catching up on some reads, and just having a nice kind of cosy day. I do have to run around a bit because I've got to do some ferrying around of children. I also need to go and find a decent sports bra. I'm really, where I walk a lot, I'm doing the 1,000 miles challenge. I might talk about that. It's a challenge run by Country Walking Magazine, which is a UK magazine. It's not you set your own goals, your own pace, and it's very flexible. I've decided to try and walk 1,000 miles in the calendar year of 2024. Actually, I should check where I'm up to. I know I'm a bit behind. I need to catch up. So anyway, I'm going to stop rambling and get this tea in me so I start making more sense. Exciting delivery has arrived. Oh, do excuse this, by the way. Midst of getting rid of old uniform, I've got to donate it to things. Lilia, do you want to help me open this?
Yes, I do. Hold on.
So a while ago, I was curious and I went on the waiting list for a couple of book subscriptions. I've gone for book only, Illumicrate. And Lilia's quite excited about it as well, so chances are I'm going to get it stolen. Lilia's still in her pyjamas. Well, when I say still in her pyjamas, she's only just got up. So yeah. She is in her pyjamas. And her boyfriend's just, what's he done?
He's just passed his driving test.
He's just passed his driving test. Ooh. So we don't normally go for hardbacks, do we? But this is quite exciting. No. This has taken forever, by the way. I paid for it back in mid-June. It's now the end of August. So it said it was like a magic... Oh, I can't remember what I can't remember.
It was a magical zookeeper.
It's not very nicely packaged, is it?
No.
It has like a bit of... That's fine, because it's, that's recyclable. And then that's it. I thought it would be like... wrapped up nicely rather than just in a bit of bubble wrap, but I shall reuse the bubble wrap. Oh, sprayed edges, Lilia. Oh, look at that. Let's just get rid of the cat hair. We don't actually have a cat, but all right, let's show this. It's got, oh, it's lovely art. So the book is, let's turn it around so you can see it. The Phoenix Keeper by S.A. McLean. Falling in Love Never Burned So Bright. Well, this already said, look, there's dragons and everything. It's a romance, isn't it? You're going to love this. Let's read it.
I cannot wait.
As head phoenix keeper at a world-renowned zoo for magical creatures, Ayla's childhood dream of conserving critically endangered firebirds seems closer than ever. There's just one glaring caveat. Her zoo's breeding program hasn't functioned for a decade. But saving an entire species from extinction requires more than stellar animal handling skills. Mustering the courage to ask for help from hotshot griffin keeper at the zoo's most popular exhibit. Virtually impossible. Especially when that hotshot griffin keeper happens to be her arch rival from college.
Yes!
Enemies to lovers. Luciana, an annoyingly brooding and insufferable know-it-all with the grace of a basilisk and the face of a goddess who's convinced that Ayla's beloved phoenix would serve their cause better as an active performer rather than as a passive conservation exhibit. This is a very detailed blurb. Against an epic fantasy backdrop teeming with all your favourite mythical beasts from dragons and unicorns to kelpies and krakens, the Phoenix Keeper combines the cosy fantasy stakes of TJ Klune and Travis Baldry with the heartwarming contemporary romance of Alice Oseman and Casey McQuiston. So, oh, that sounds nice.
Oh, it's signed.
Oh, is it signed by the author or the artist, I wonder?
We'll never know. Oh my god.
Oh my god, that's so exciting. Anyway, the artwork and the sprayed edges. It is very pretty, isn't it? Let's show them the actual... Oh, it looks so nice. Oh, there she is.
Man, I really want the Ali Hazelwood ones.
Oh, it's really pretty. And it's got all the artwork.
Ah! What's on the back?
Oh, it's like an advert for the zoo. This sounds so cute. I really liked the Travis Baldry one. The not Bookshops and Bone Dust. That was the second one.
Look at this.
Cookies and no. Oh my goodness, what is wrong with my menopausal brain?
I don't know, but look at this one.
Oh,
Here they are.
oh, there they are. Here are the enemies to lovers. With a phoenix.
Peacock?
That's a phoenix. It's a bat.
No, it's got peacock feathers.
Oh, but
But it's also got doggy legs.
but it's called the Phoenix Keeper. I'm assuming
Yeah.
Phoenix. Oh, the artwork in it's amazing, isn't it?
Is there more pictures?
I think you'll love this, Lilia.
I will.
I'm going to have to read it. Hang on. Let's put this back. I'm going to have to read it first because. Would you annotate a book like this, though?
No.
No. So I was going to say Lilia annotates her books, but you probably wouldn't annotate like a collector's-y one, would you?
No. I have my Shatter Me Collector's Edition and I'm never going to touch
You're
them.
never going to. But you have annotated your other
Oh, yeah.
versions. Yeah.
I ruined those.
Oh, no, I've just dissed it saying there's no note or anything, but it's signed and there's a little Illumicrate special note in here.
What?
As well.
Let me see.
Oh, we'll read that.
Let me see.
Oh, there's a map. There's a map. Oh, I love it. I kind of want to ditch everything and read this now.
Oh, my hand is very unsteady.
Oh, I love it. Very pleased.
Yes or no?
Okay, I'm just waiting for the tweens. Phoebe's got a friend here to come and get me and tell me they want to be given a lift to the cinema. Lilia, would you mind pausing Emily in Paris whilst I have a chat to the camera? I'm just listening to The Return. Yes, The Return by Victoria Hislop. I really, really enjoyed The Island, which I read years and years and years ago. And I wanted to read before I went away to Spain, something that was set in Spain, but I couldn't really get into it. So I've been listening to it really since I got back. I didn't listen to it at all whilst I was away. It's gone back in time now. So it started off in, well, present day, but quite a while ago. It was written a fair few years ago now. But now it's set in the, it's gone back in time to the start of the Spanish Civil War, which is something I know very, very little about, almost nothing. And it's really quite interesting to hear about. It's obviously been really well researched. There's something about, I don't know if it's, I think it might be the narration. It's fine, but it just grates on me sometimes. But I'm, yeah, really enjoying it. So I've been pottering about with that whilst I'm waiting for my summons. And I'm just going to sit down for a bit and work on my blanket. Well, it's not my blanket. It's going to be for Lilia. Let me grab it. I should really just go and get my... Oh, I've got my tripod here. Hang on. That's better, isn't it? Look, I've got all my hands free now. Yeah. Oh. Ball of wool has just gone all the way across the room. I'll go and get it in a minute. This is my blanket that I'm making for Lilia, and I'm almost finished. I'm on the border, which is actually quite the job. So I'm doing this lovely border here, and it's going to have like a lacy finish as well. So I'm really enjoying this part of it, and I want to get it done because this is going away to university with Lilia. I mentioned earlier that autumn is bringing a huge amount of changes for our family. With Lilia going off to university, so I'm going to be spending a little bit of time today sitting here under my light, working on my blanket. And this video is sponsored by Sirius Lights. You've heard me talk about them so many times before because I've had my light now for almost somewhere between 1.5 years and 2 years. It has been my daily companion throughout the summer evenings and will continue to accompany me in my crochet, knitting and drawing as we move into autumn. The Sirius Light range features daylight wavelength technology, which replicates the daylight spectrum as closely as possible, which is perfect when you've got a few solid hours ahead of you where you need to sit and really concentrate on your crochet border. Because I can work for hours under it. It doesn't affect my eyes. I can use it without disturbing everyone around me. My favourite thing about it is basically how reliable it is. I've had it, like I said, I've had it for about 1.5 years, almost 2 years, and it still looks brand new and it still functions perfectly. I just grab it and I'm away. I can just grab it and turn it on in one motion and I am good to go. They're a UK company as well. They hand built all of their Sirius lights in Aylesbury, just up the motorway, and all of the lights, all of their Sirius lights come with a 5-year warranty as well, which is fantastic. Yeah, I wouldn't be without it now. And in fact, I'm going to stick it on now. I know it's daylight, but I'm working with really dark colours and it really does help just to make things so much, oh, it's so much better. Like the dip. I mean, I know that it's better, but just doing it like that, just it's so satisfying. And you can use my code, which is ALI. Yes, I do know how to spell my own name. ALI, Ali 24, and you get that will get you £100 off any of the lights in the Sirius Lights range. Plus, if you're in the UK, you get free delivery as well. They do ship worldwide and you get the £100 off worldwide, but the free delivery is only within the UK. So I will pop that link in the description box and in a pinned comment. My love affair with my light continues. Right, I need to find my end and I need to go and retrieve my ball of yarn from over there where it is rolled to. I wonder if I can coax it back if I pull this bit gently. Come on, ball of yarn. Come on. I'm just unwinding more and more. I'm just gonna have to get off my bum. 3:15 and I am going to get out for a walk. I feel a bit discombobulated, and I've got loads to do, but I feel like I just need to get out and get my legs moving and get out in the air. I'm really struggling with adjusting to being back to, like, getting back to the routine and everything. I know I said that this morning, and yeah, I think that lots of things playing on my mind. We've got so much to prepare for. So Lilia, when she moves to university, is moving a long way. She's going to be a good 4.5 hour drive away. It's less on the train. So it's a big move, and she's going to be far from home. She's going to be studying acting. She's going to be doing a degree in acting for theatre. It's her dream, and she's really, really pleased. But she moves up at the end of September. So we've been buying, I've got some bags of things here with things like tea towels that she's chosen. We've been out and about choosing some things for her room that she's going to need for cooking and so on. She's been doing tons of cooking at home and just getting ready to prepare simple meals and how to shop and, you know, things like that. She's fairly good, but it's just about doing it day to day. And if I look a bit shiny, by the way, it's because I've just slathered on a load of Factor 50 ready to go out. It's not particularly sunny today, but can't be too careful. So I'm just getting my trainers on to go for a walk and try and quieten my mind. And I thought whilst I was getting my trainers on, I'd do a very quick zip through books that I've read since I last spoke about books. Except I can't quite remember where I was, but I think I was either just about to read, was excited about reading, or had just finished Queen Bee by Juno Dawson, which is the sort of prequel, little novella prequel to the Her Majesty's Royal Coven series. I listened to it again, like I've listened to all of the books in that series, because it's read by Nicola Coughlan, and she just adds something really extra to the stories. She's fantastic. And I loved it, absolutely loved it. Because I've recently read this year the Alison Weir books, all set in the time, historical fiction, but set in the times of Henry VIII and his 6 wives. It was really, really interesting to sort of go back to that era and be with Anne Boleyn and have another sort of fictional tale around there. So I really, really enjoyed that, gave it 5 stars. I then read The Botanist's Daughter. I started listening to it, couldn't get on with the narrator. Switched to reading it, got it from the library, really struggled with it. I haven't actually rated it yet, but I think that's probably going to be a 3-star. In my mind, books start around 3 stars and either lose or gain as they go. And this one lost half stars as I was reading and then sort of regained to get back to 3, but I did not enjoy that. That was by Katie Nunn. I then listened to, because it was on Everand, Cultish, The Language of Fanaticism. It came up as a recommended on my Everand. It's by Amanda Montell. And I'd seen, I think, Victoria at What Victoria Read talk about it. And I really enjoyed it. Not as much as I thought I was going to enjoy it, though. It was very, it's an American writer, I think. It's very centred on American things. So, you know, obviously, because that's where she's from. But it was very interesting, but I would have liked to hear a bit more maybe around that kind of thing in Britain. But then that's not what the book was advertised as about, so that's just me. But I enjoyed it. I haven't given that a star rating, probably give it a 3.5. I then finally finished listening to Decluttering at the Speed of Life by Dana K. White, which is read by the author. It's about 6 hours, available on Everand. I really enjoyed it. It's obviously these 2 last books are non-fiction, which I find harder to review, but what I took away from Decluttering at the Speed of Life, which is all about ways to declutter and ways to change your mentality around clutter. And for what I took away from it, I'd give that 4.5 stars. I thought it was really, really interesting. And then recommended by one of my viewers. God, I've really got to catch up on my reviews, goodness me. But recommended by one of my viewers, I listened to a novella called Passing by Nella Larson. And the narrator was really, really good, and I enjoyed it. And I thought, I was about sort of a quarter of the way in, and I thought there's something about the way this is written is really strange, and I couldn't quite put my finger on it. And when I went to look it up, it was published in the 1920s, and that really sort of explained a lot and also made the book a kind of enjoyable listen to an absolutely fascinating one. I can't believe it was written in the 1920s. So much of what was spoken about is completely relevant now. Very much enjoyed it. It was a very interesting tale that makes you think. Hello? I'm just sitting on the floor talking about books, obviously. Do
Sorry.
you need to get in?
No, just asking you when you want to check in at university. We've got 10 to 11:30, 12 to 1:30.
Ooh. That's exciting. Lily has finally got the email about her accommodation because they get time slots to move into halls of residence, and I've been waiting to hear about that because I need to book a hotel and everything, accommodation for us to go up there and drop her off. Anyway, yeah, Passing by Nella Larsen, really, really good. It was only 4 hours long. Would highly recommend that one. Again, I have not rated it yet. I'll have to have a little think. Then I read The Shadow of the Wind, which is the first in a series called The Cemetery of Forgotten Books by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. Spanish author. I really enjoyed it. There were parts of it that really dragged a bit for me. It's set in during and after the Spanish Civil War. You go back and hear about it, and you move backwards and forwards and you hear about stories in the past as well. Very mysterious, very atmospheric, really well written, really enjoyed it. There were parts of it where I got a bit lost because you go off down other sort of avenues with different characters, and there were loads of other names to then get used to and remember, but only for short periods. And I struggle with that kind of book. But I really enjoyed it. I think I'm going to give it 4.5 stars, maybe 4.75 if I were doing quarters, but probably 4.5. Yeah, very much enjoyed it. I'm being really quick here. I then listened to Matchmaking for Beginners because it came up as one that was available on Everand, and I just wanted something light before I went away. It's by Maddie Dawson. It started off really well, and then I hated it. Or not hated it, but I just, as Victoria would say, I just didn't care. I gave it 2.75 stars. I then read on my Kindle, my new Kindle, Our Wives Under the Sea by Julia Armfield, which I finished when I was on holiday. I loved it. It was really weird, really mysterious. It did not end up going where I thought it was going to go. And in my mind, and I haven't been to have a look at any of the other reviews yet, but in my mind, I think it was a story about someone grieving and dealing with loss. And I feel like it was a kind of way of how someone was coping with her loss. But if you've read it, let me know what you think. Maybe I'm thinking too deeply about it. And then on holiday, I read 3 novellas. I read The Red Notebook by Antoine Laurent. I loved it, 5 stars. I'm going to go back and try and read all of his stuff. The Woman in the Bookshop in St Albans. If you go back to a couple of videos, or I'll link it underneath to my Cozy Bookshop Day, recommended it, and she was dead right, spot on. I then read Chronicle of a Death Foretold. So The Red Notebook was translated into English from the French, and the Chronicle of a Death Foretold was translated from the Spanish. That was a bit over my head. It's a bit of a morality tale. It was a little bit gruesome. It was interesting. You could tell it was really well written. But yeah, I think just not for me. And then I finished on the plane on the way home Kitchen by Banana Yoshimoto, and I loved it. It was really interesting. Again, I think that was published in the 80s. Very interesting. Some of it I struggled a little bit with. It says there's a lot. It covers themes of trans identity. Some of it I found a bit odd, the way it dealt with it. But it was a very heartwarming tale, and I very much enjoyed it. And those are all the books I've finished. And I'm now going to go and continue listening to The Return. So it's more on the Spanish Civil War, whilst I trudge about. Film me on my phone, so it might be a bit wobbly. And the sound's not going to be great, but I just need to say that it's, what time is it? It's 3 o'clock. And the light, it won't be dark until 9. But the light has taken a definite shift to the autumnal. It's got that, that low in the sky feeling where the sun is much lower, gets in your eyes when you're driving. This is one of the good things about walking throughout the seasons, throughout the year, nearly every single day. Not every day, every week at least. Is you really get to sense the shifts, the subtle ones and the big ones. It's Lovely. Can't imagine not doing it now. Just hope I get to my goal of 1,000. If not, I'll just have to try again next year.
Open air, side by side we sway there in all the colors. Summer love.
Well, it's been quite a bountiful day because as well as my apple and my eggs from the garden this morning and all of the fruitful stuff going on in the late summer roadside and hedgerows as I was out on my surprisingly autumnal walk, and my delivery from Illumicrate at last, my mum had popped round whilst I was out. Let me just put the camera down. And I'm a bit sweaty. She has dropped off some produce from her friend who does a lot of growing. So I've got a courgette, a cucumber, and some cooking apples. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cooking apples. So I am going to make, or some of my favourite things, late August, early September, making apple crumble. But I'm not going to do that tonight because Phoebe's on a sleepover at a friend's house. Oh, I can put my little apple that I got from the garden this morning as well. It's not our tree, it's next door's tree. Stolen their cat and their apples. Yeah, I'm going to make apple crumble tomorrow because Phoebe's not here and she would kill me if I made apple crumble when she wasn't here. So I'll probably do that tomorrow night after work or Thursday because I'm at home on Thursday and I'll have more time to faff about. We're ending where we started this morning in front of the kitchen window. That was a bit of a disaster. I pulled one of my tea bags out and the whole thing just fell apart. My hair's got steadily more crazy today as well. This is a new one that they've brought out. So this is my beloved Yorkshire tea. Yorkshire tea is the tea that I drink and I normally just drink their normal everyday tea. But they also do a biscuit flavoured one, which I do not like, but my mum likes it. And they do toast and jam, which I do like. And then they brought out this one, which is caramelised biscuit brew. Now, my most favourite biscuit is the McVitie's caramel chocolate digestive. And so I bought these to try. And I really like them. So it was worth the pain of having to clean all that up. I'm going to go and enjoy my caramelised biscuit brew. Thank you so much for joining me for this rather eclectic little mix of vloggy, bookish, daily life autumnalness. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to go and sit down with my cup of tea and enjoy the fact that it's not blazing hot today, and I will see you again in the next one. Until then, take care. Bye.